brought something," Ethan said, and pulled a cloth-wrapped box from his bag. Inside was a vintage camera, leather casing, slightly worn but clearly well kept. "This was hers, wasn't it?" Hana asked. He nodded. "My mother's. She loved photography too. Thought the camera could see things people couldn't." Hana turned the camera in her hands reverently. "May I?" He smiled. "Only if you let me take your photo first." Hana raised an eyebrow. "You want a picture of me?" "Just once," he said softly. "So I can remember this moment, even when things change." She hesitated, then nodded. Click. The sound of the shutter was oddly grounding, like closing a book on a chapter that had just begun. When the photo slid out, Ethan didn't look at it. He tucked it into his pocket. "It's not for now," he said. "It's for later." They sat together a while longer, silence blooming around them like petals, soft, unspoken, and inevitable. And somewhere, unseen, a single blossom fell. The next time Hana stepped into the garden, the air was colder, not the kind that brushed your skin, but the kind that settled in your bones. Change was coming. At the gate, a sleek black car pulled up, its windows tinted like secrets. From inside stepped Tatsuya Ishikawa, immaculately dressed in a navy blue suit, shoes too polished for dirt paths, and an expression that looked permanently unimpressed. "Tatsuya-san," Hana greeted with a practiced bow. He took her hand, kissed it as if they were actors in a romance he had already cast. "Still the most beautiful part of this garden." She smiled politely, the same way one smiles at a sudden gust of wind, brief and bracing. As they walked the path through the Sakura grove, Tatsuya spoke of investments, expansion, and the untapped potential of her family's land. "We can keep a few trees for aesthetics," he said, as though preserving heritage was a line item on his budget. "But imagine a resort, modern spas, international guests flying in to experience cherry blossoms in luxury. The Takahashi legacy deserves a global stage." "This isn't a stage," Hana replied quietly. "It's a sanctuary." Tatsuya looked at her, amused. "And sanctuaries need funding, don't they?" That night, Hana visited her father. He lay on a futon near the hearth, skin like parchment and breath shallow but steady. "Father," she whispered, kneeling beside him. "Are you sure about the engagement?" He opened his eyes slowly, foggy with medicine and age. "He has money, influence. If something happens to me, he can protect the garden. Protect you." "You think he'll protect us," she said bitterly. "But he only wants to own us." He didn't answer. Maybe he didn't hear. Maybe he didn't want to. Elsewhere, Ethan sat in a small cafe, sipping matcha and scrolling through his phone. He had finally posted one of the Polaroids to his art account, a single moody shot of the Yozakura under starlight captioned, "Hidden in Kyoto's shadows, beauty we were never meant to find." It received likes, shares, comments praising its composition. He smiled. What he didn't see were the messages pouring into Tatsuya's office from investors and developers. Messages with that same photo attached. A single tree glowing in the dark, marked, desired. Back at the Takahashi estate, Hana's phone buzzed. A message from her cousin. "You should see what's trending. Your ghost tree made it to Instagram." Her stomach dropped. She opened the post. And there it was. Ethan's photo. The Yozakura. The caption. Her breath caught. "No." Her fingers trembled as she dialed him. He answered on the first ring. "Hey, What did you do, Ethan?" The sharpness in her voice silenced him. "You posted it. You posted the tree." I didn't use a geotag. I thought..." "You thought wrong." Her voice cracked. "This garden isn't a backdrop for your grief. It's my family's legacy, and now it's a target." She hung up. Outside, the night breeze rustled the branches of the Yozakura. But the peace it once carried had turned into something fragile, something broken. Hana stood in the middle of the garden, her breath white in the early morning chill. The tranquility that once lived between the trees now felt hollow, like a lie someone whispered too, many times until it sounded real. She heard footsteps behind her. Still angry? Ethan's voice was cautious. She didn't turn. You promised. Why did you post it? She said bluntly. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I was just proud of the shot. Ethan said. She faced him now, her eyes colder than the morning air. Proud? You turned something sacred into content. His hands tightened at his sides. I didn't think anyone would recognize it. I was careful. No location, no tags. It doesn't matter. You don't get to decide what's sacred here. Silence grew thick between them. I trusted you, she added softly, the anger in her voice giving way to hurt. Ethan lowered his head, his voice quiet. I didn't mean to. I didn't even tag the location. But they found it, Hana replied. Tatsuya showed it to my father. Now he wants to speed up the wedding. He says it's the only way to protect our name. Ethan stepped closer, but Hana took a step back. I'm sorry, he said sincerely. I was proud of the shot. It reminded me of my mom. I didn't think... No, Hana cut him off. You didn't think. Because this isn't your world. You don't have to live with the consequences. Ethan bit his lip, trying to hold back the anger and guilt growing within him. I'm not leaving you with this, he said finally. Let me help fix it. I'll talk to your father or to the press if I have to. I'll stay. Hana looked at him, her eyes beginning to fill with tears. You can't stay. Your visa expires in 10 days. You'll have to go home. Ethan let out a heavy sigh. Then I'll fight like hell for those 10 days. I'll buy time. I'll call my consulate. I'll cancel my return flight if I have to. Why? Hana's voice was barely a whisper. Why would you do that? He stepped closer, slowly, then looked straight into her eyes. Because I'm in love with you, he said. And because I'm the one who made this mess. But you've been fighting alone your whole life. Not anymore. Later that day, the Takahashi estate was no longer quiet. Tatsuya sat in the sitting room with Hana's father, a glossy tablet in his hand, showcasing plans, resort mock-ups, investor charts, drone views of the garden digitally overlaid with infinity pools and zen spas. Your daughter may not see the potential, he said smoothly, but the world does. The investors are waiting. Hana burst in without knocking. You're not building anything here. Tatsuya stood. Hana, no, this is not your land. You are not family. Her father, frail and pale, tried to speak, but coughed instead. Tatsuya helped him sip from a cup, then looked at Hana with an expression that was almost pitying. He wants security for you, stability. You think it's romantic. To preserve this place, but memories don't pay medical bills. I don't need your version of security, Hana said, and I won't sell my soul for convenience. Tatsuya's smile vanished. Then you leave me no choice. He turned to her father. I'll tell the media about the dying Yozakura. Let them come. Let them judge. Do you really think this place will survive a scandal? The entire Takahashi name gone in a week. Her father looked at her then, eyes full of sorrow and apology, but not strength. Hana walked to the Yozakura alone. The moon was high, the petals still and heavy in the dark. Behind her, Ethan approached quietly. I meant it, he said. I'll take the photo down. I'll talk to the investors. I'll give you the money from the exhibit. Everything. She shook her head. I don't need your money, Ethan. Then what do you need? She turned to him, voice trembling. I need you to understand this is my fight. Not a charity project, not your way of saying sorry to the past. He stared at her, silent. And then the petals began to fall, a soft, steady rain of white and pink. Do you think it hurts them? She whispered. To fall before they're ready? Ethan looked up at the blossoms, then back at her. If it means someone remembers them, maybe not. For a moment, the distance between them felt smaller.